Namaskar. Today I have received a question from Paravastu Kasturi Rangan. Maharaj, seeking clarification in regard to being curious and anxious to get information. Your good self always says the opinion that there is only a thin gap between these two. Whenever I inquire, the fear, whether I am curious, creeps into me and feel it was a waste and feeling guilt. Honestly, I am not able to differentiate. If everything is curious, what do we talk at all? Regards, Maharaj. Here he is a little bit confused. First he says, I am seeking a clarification between curious and anxious. Okay, that is fine. Your good self is always of the opinion that there is only a thin gap between these two. That's also fine. Whenever I inquire, the fear, whether I am curious, creeps into me and feel it was a waste and feeling guilty. This question itself looks a little bit he is confused. He is in a very confused state of mind. Of course, I know why it is now. Whenever I inquire, the fear, whether I am curious, creeps into me and feel it was a waste and feeling guilt. Whenever I inquire, the fear, it looks like he is inquiring about the fear. Whether I am curious, when you do an inquiry about a fear about within yourself, where is the question of curiousness? It is introspection what you are making. Making introspection within yourself. When you are introspecting to find out whether the fear is really needed or not needed, then some feeling comes to him that it is a waste and he feels guilty. See, first of all, here the question is very jumbled. Then he says, if everything is curious, what do we talk at all? Now he is bringing another dimension. Vis-a-vis, he is talking to others. Okay, let us first see curiosity and anxiety. Curiosity is very mild. You are very curious to know whether a person has really been in station or not in station. What's there? Your car was not there outside the house, whether you are in station or not. First of all, the question is a personal question. Whether it is correct to inquire whether somebody was at home or not, itself looks a little bit for me to be little bit intruding into the other person's privacy. Okay, now we will come to the last portion. If this is being curious, then what is it we can talk? You can talk so many things. Why talk personal things? You can talk about India, you can talk about economy, you can talk about inflation. You can talk about the Russian war with Ukraine, you can talk about the economy in US, recession, so many things are there. Recently the telescope, they have found the dance, the celestial dance between the galaxies, which happened during the Big Bang time, all those things. There are so many things to talk. Why talk only on personal things? Try to understand my point. Okay. Oh yes, among relatives very casually you may talk. I don't deny that. But still, as far as possible to avoid is better. It is a very high level of thinking probably as far as you are concerned. But as far as I am concerned, asking any personal question is intruding into other person's privacy. These days, I don't ask any personal question with anybody. If somebody says something, is that so? I just hear to what they say. Suppose an answer has to be given, then I give an answer. Suppose I have to give an answer at that particular point of time. I give an answer. I am not very curious to know what they are doing, where they are going, why I should know. It is their problem. This curiosity, when it becomes a disease, that is anxiety. To feel very anxious. There are people feeling anxious about everything, even their personal things. If you go and tell them, no, you are not walking straight, you are walking a little bit wobble, you are wobbling, they become very anxious. Am I really wobbling? They may ask something like that. So, anxiety is more a disease. Repeatedly being into curiosity becomes anxiety. It's a disease. So in order to calm you down, they make you, if you go to a doctor, a neurologist, he will give some tablets and that has to be taken throughout life. Or at least till your anxiety level comes down, a patient anxiety level comes down, he is supposed to take. Okay. Anxiety neurosis, they say. It becomes a disease. So anxious. Okay. They want to know anything and everything and they are very anxious about what will happen next, how it will happen. What has to happen next will happen, how it has to happen will happen. If that goes into their psyche, then this will drop. But they are not able to do it. It has become a psychosomatic disorder for them. It disturbs their mind, it disturbs their body. So the curiosity gets expanded to that extent, it becomes anxiety. But when you are inquiring yourself about something, that is not curiosity. You are inquiring, it's an introspection. When you do an introspection and find out something is wrong, you feel guilty. That is where you should keep in mind you are not the doer. Had you kept in mind at the very first instant of doing that particular thing itself, that would not have gone wrong. Because your ego self said you have to do and you are doing it. And then when you inquire back into it, because you feel you are the doer, so guilt automatically comes when it goes wrong. Okay. So, that is introspection. You are introspecting yourself. You are not inspecting others. You are introspecting your own action. So, most of the people are not able to drop the doership. So, the woes of doership always haunts you in a big way. Okay, sometimes when people are very successful, they feel very elated about it. But please remember, not always you may be successful when you have a doership. It is likely that you may fail at some point of time. when you fail and when you introspect it, you will feel guilty about it. That's all, nothing else. Because you are owning the act. You feel that you have performed the act. It's not the Lord. You have performed the act. So you feel guilty. Because the particular act was not performed the way it should have been performed. So the guilt automatically comes. Have you understood? So, when you do a particular thing without doership, there is no necessity for introspection also, because it will be perfect. Lord enters your egoless mind and performs it. The intellect inside you tells you that you are only doing it. That is, the culprit is the intellect. If you are a very intelligent person and if you are a very wise person, where you are beyond intellect, you would have crossed intellect and gone into the space of intelligence. Then you become a very wise person. You know very well you are a part of a bigger design of the Lord, and anything, incidentally, Lord may be using you to do a particular thing, but you are not the doer, He is the doer. And please remember that act will be picture perfect, very perfect. So it's the doership. When you feel guilty about something, it is more the doership which needs to be inspected. It's the doership which you have to think upon, whether you need that doership or not. Why to have that doership? Have you understood? So if you can drop that doership, there is no necessity to introspect also. Because introspection comes only for people who own doership. You don't belong to that. So where is the question of introspection? It is the will of the Lord. Incidentally, He was kind enough to use you as a tool, and He has performed it. He could have used anybody else, but He preferred to use you. To that extent, we are very thankful to the Lord. Lord, you have been kind enough to use me. Through me, you have made me to do some work. Thank you very much. You give more such opportunities. Please help me to always realize that every act is performed by you and not by me. Then there will be nothing like guilt. Neither you will be elated also. When something succeeds, you will say, it's all Lord's will, Pa. I did not do it. Lord only did it. So, okay, Lord only did it. That's all. It was Lord's will. Today, now if I am talking to you, that also is Lord's will. If you are congratulating me, I am not the person. Please remember, Lord is the person. You please congratulate Him, not me. You will have that much of humility and humbleness to disown the act, even though it is performed picture perfect. It would have sunk into you to that extent. At every point of time, as you walk, as you do something, there will be no ego at all, and you will be an egoless person. And you will always keep in mind that any work done is Lord's work, and it is being done by Him. Normally you can talk with anybody, there is nothing wrong, but too much when you go, then curiosity comes. Why should you know? Normally, yes, casually you can talk so many things. Even with your relatives, with your friends, there is no necessity that you should talk only personal things. First of all, you should shift that out of the mind. Anything personal you should not talk first. Anything personal they ask, you want to reply, you reply, otherwise give a broad smile. That's all. That itself should indicate that you are not interested in replying that question. Still you can have a very meaningful conversation. Yeah. A very meaningful conversation still you can have. There is no necessity that you should. Curiosity alone will be a meaningful conversation. First of all, remove that from your mind. You are now thinking curiosity alone. Any question asked, and your way of questioning is more personal. Become an impersonal person. Of course, sometimes somebody is not well, somebody is asking, yes, you can share a little bit of information. That also don't share the entire information. If the entire information is shared, then people will build I will tell you, they will build a samadhi. Even for a person who is unwell, maybe not well, but people will say that no, that person is very serious, anytime he may grow. Please remember, all this the people will presume. And for their presumption and for their curiosity, your information is the culprit. When you give more information to people, maybe your kin and kith, somebody might have been admitted in the hospital. Where is the necessity to give all the information? No, not well, something, he will be out of the hospital or she will be out of the hospital in another 2-3 days. It's a mild ailment. Everybody gets some fever like that. That's all. Even if it's a major one. Okay. Even when the person is alive, your relatives and friends will start mourning. Try to understand this. The culprit is you are giving the information. You are giving the information, and please remember, for others, it is not concern. Concern may be 1 or 2 of your relatives may be really concerned. I can accept that. But not everybody is concerned. Everybody is more curious to know. There is a very thin demarcating line between curiosity and concern. A really concerned person will be praying to Lord that everything should be all right. A really caring person, a person who is concerned, will pray to Lord that the person should be out of the hospital in a very short period of time. Prayers will be done. They will not add to your fear. More so when information goes out, in the name of curiosity or in the name of concern, people will come and talk to you and increase your blood pressure. They will ask so many questions. Because today Googleshwara is there. Everybody Googles to find out. Thanks to Googleshwara. There will be so many things written. Under some category, something will be tallying. And they will presume so many things. They will give their own medicines. Now self-medication is what should not be done. Similarly, opinions. For all this, who was the cause? You were the cause. Because you gave information. Where is the necessity to give? Something very extreme happens, it happens. At that point of time, people come to know. Yes. Have you understood? So, one should mature to withhold information. There is no necessity. You must give. There is no necessity to print information and give it to everybody. Howsoever close they may be, they are not going to be of any use to you. They are going to increase your blood pressure. They may call it concern, but I will say it is curiosity. Maybe 1 or 2 persons will be really concerned. That person will be sitting and praying. They will not increase your blood pressure. Anybody else repeatedly coming and inquiring with you will be really increasing your blood pressure. So try to learn all this. Try to mature. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thanks a lot. God bless you all. I have nothing against you. Please remember, this question is a very useful question. In fact, you are asking will be useful for so many people. There are so many people who are struggling with these things. That is why I have come on the Facebook and I have given a small discourse about it. I have ventilated my thoughts and my feelings on that. Understood? God bless you all. Thank you very much. Bye.